Hello everyone, it's Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Well, this video I'm going to try to keep short and I'm not going to try to talk as fast as I normally do, so we'll see if the voice can do that. The channel right there, that description, Mid-Atlantic Craps channel update is what we're going to talk about today and what my plans are and where I'm going. As many of you know, I haven't been as active on YouTube as I would like to be. There's a variety of reasons. One is for those of you that know, nothing new to you. For those of you that don't know, over the past little more than a year, I've been going through some health issues, nothing major, coming to the end of testing, nothing major, just some lifestyle changes. But the main reason why I'm scaled back is because of the health, but also because of the time I want to devote to dedicate it towards my family and my personal life. I just feel as if I haven't been able to give you what I've given you in the first two and a half years of my YouTube channel. So to recap, I'm going to stop doing most of my nighttime shows. Those will be either spontaneous rollouts using Crapsee, not using Crapsee, my co-collaborations with like Ed from Roll to Win and a few other YouTubers that I admire quite a bit that aren't as active on YouTube that want to get back into YouTube. I've got a couple of those. And the other thing I like to do is I like to do the interviews. So those are going to be the three things that I will be doing. You'll see me around at people's meetups. You'll see me traveling. I'll give you my travel update if you want to come and meet me or come play together, sit around and have a drink or something together. You'll know where I'll be. With that said, the main reason that I'm putting the video out is because I don't feel as if I'm giving the viewers, the subscribers, and especially the people that pay me a monthly fee and memberships the proper content. I don't feel as if I'm giving you your money's worth. So with that said, I'm going to be turning off my memberships on my website and on YouTube. It's going to take me a little bit, but hopefully by the end of June, that will be all turned off. If you want to go ahead and quit the channel now, it's okay. I won't be upset. But on my memberships, it's easy for me to do. On YouTube, I have to do a couple things in order to leave the super chat on and turn everything else off. I will have a tip feature or a donate feature on my website, and it'll be in every description of my videos, whether live or recorded. You can, if you feel like you want to support me, you can, but it's not necessary. As you know, my channel is a not-for-profit YouTube channel. Everything that I've brought in basically goes back out in the form of prizes, in the form of swag, and in the form of going towards the Craps for the Cure, which I'm very proud of my viewers, subscribers, and members for helping me be able to donate what I've donated to the Craps for the Cure for the last 3 years, and this being year number 4 coming up. I don't have a large amount because I have not been pushing it, but I am going to be able to contribute a 4th consecutive year to the Craps for the Cure coming up later this year. So the monetization is going to go off with the exception of a donation or a tip, and as well as the super chats I will leave on. Just remember that Google takes 30% of whatever you super chat, and to me that's pretty high when you can do it the way that I do it through all the other venues that are listed in the description for a lot less percentage charge. There is something that's going to change, which I'm hoping is going to be good for all Crapsee hosts. Crapsee is going to be featuring a tip mechanism coming up later this year, and I feel that my Crapsee shows, the ones that I do, the amount of subscribers that I get for just a single show, not subscribers, but people who come along and play just for a single show, is substantial. And once Crapsee puts that tip feature in there, the percentage that Crapsee will take is really small, if none at all. But I do expect them to take something off of that as to help their product continue to grow. So Crapsee will have a tips built in sometime later this year, if not early next year. From a monetization standpoint being off, I do have some things I'm going to continue to give away until they're gone, such as the high hand contest. I'll continue until the bank on the YouTube income and my website income is 0, and then we'll see what we're going to do with the high hand contest. Maybe I've got some other ideas what we can do. So nighttime shows like the D8 show. I've had a lot of people say, hey, when are you going to bring back the Duracell 8, the D8 perpetual table? We love that show. We love the entertainment value. And we love the fact that you give away some really decent prizes during that show, and also shows like my Pay It Forward and my private Crapsee table. The Pay It Forwards will probably go by the wayside. The private tournaments will probably continue, but the important part of this message is the D8 perpetual table, the Durso 8, the D8, that's Matt Tarman. I consider him a good friend, never met him. Looking forward to meeting up with him down in Cherokee at some point in the near future. But we're going to take that show and we're going to move it over to Craig at Old Bay Craps. So Craig tells me that they're going to be starting that Tuesday. I believe it's the 18th of this month, June 2024. So look for Craig and Matt to put that show together over on Old Bay Craps. And I hope you support Craig. That's Craig Wright from OBC, Old Bay Craps. Please give him the attention and the pleasantries that you've given me over the course of 3 seasons of that show. Next on the list, Craps Chat. I've said for 6 months now I wanted to bring the show back. I just can't make it happen due to time constraints. John from Procraps has asked me many times what direction we're going to go. But first of all, I owe a sincere apology to Dylan over at Skill and Luck, the creator of the show, my co-host on the show. I owe him an apology because I just don't feel like I can bring that show back on a consistent basis, which is every other week, twice a month, with the dedication that you need to do a show like that. We would have 80 to 100 people watching the show. The chats that came in, there needed to be some moderation with the chats. The show got pretty testy at times because different people's views on the game, but I had good moderators like John, Chris from Dice Degen, Craig from Old Bay Craps, and a few others that would moderate that chat while we were doing the show. But what I hope that John continues to have that show. As you know, that show is hosted over on Casino Gaming TV YouTube channel, CGTV. And I hope that when John finds a replacement for me, and Dylan is acceptable to it, that the person that they bring on has got great craps knowledge, has got the production skills to be able to run the show, has the patience to understand that there's a wide range of craps level of play there, from very experienced to very little. But the key to the whole thing for being a host is not being egotistical. So hopefully John will find a host that's like that. And if they do find a host that have a ego problem, maybe this show will change their direction as to how they treat and talk to people and give them the respect that they need. With Craps Chat, you had a wide variety of knowledge. People that came on the panel seem to be newer craps players, which is good because they're learning and they want to put some input. And getting good guests with great knowledge to come on and be on the panel that's on screen with them became a difficult scheduling task for me. And I spent a lot of time trying to schedule that, and sometimes it didn't come into fruition. But the show, I feel, should go on. If they do bring the show back, I would show up in chat and I would show up as a panel guest from time to time. And I really hope that the Craps Chat show will come back for another season. And I wish Dylan and John over at Procraps the best with that show. I just feel I can't give it enough time. Now, let's talk about YouTube channels. You've seen me get on my high horse before. You hear me during shows talk about BS shows. I'm going to keep this clean. Since I started my channel, the number of YouTube channels dedicated to craps has grown. Counting the casino game channels that cover all casino games, there's over 300, over 250 with just dedicated craps channels. Some of them are wonderful. Some of them are just exactly that, BS. They copy other content. They do things that are just unrealistic. They roll out strategies that are just BS, and you're going to hurt yourself going to the casino. There are some really good channels out there. It is my intent, and I don't know that I'm going to get the list finished when I put this video out, to have decent channels that I like and would suggest that you watch listed in the description below. That list is going to be long, but it's probably going to include some channels that you think I should include that aren't on there, and there's reasons for why I just talked about that they are not on there. Should they change their way, I'd be happy to add them to a list of channels that I would support and agree are doing the best thing for the YouTube world. There are YouTubers that are entertainers like me, and then there are YouTubers that are out there for educational purposes. The educational channels are trying to make a little bit of money for themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. For those channels that are charging an exorbitant amount for a membership and promise them things that they can't deliver on a, I guess, a monthly basis or whatever they put in their interval for their subscription, I think you're just being ripped off. You should be able to tell the difference between a BS channel, an entertainment channel, and an educational channel. The ones that can intertwine the educational and the entertainment together are the best. And I think that if you're out there to make money on YouTube and you're trying to do it as a dedicated job, you should be able to charge what you want to charge. And if people are paying that, then they appreciate your content and support. From my standpoint, I want to be transparent. I have a little over 100 members on YouTube. Most of them are 99-cent memberships. I thought that was fair to help me get through the month and give some stuff away. I didn't want to charge a large amount. The $9.99 and the $4.99 memberships on YouTube are small, but when I started my memberships on my website, oh my gosh, I've got over 100 of those paying me $4.99 to $8.99 a month. And I just feel that those are the ones that I am not giving the proper content to for what they are paying. And that's the reason why you saw some of the prizes get pretty big. We gave away some nice prizes, you know, a $700 grill, 4 $200 Blackstone griddles, and we just gave away a Yeti cooler along with all the gift cards that I gave away, the income that comes in. If somebody says you can't make money on YouTube, that's BS. You can't make substantial enough to probably support yourself unless you're a dedicated channel like somebody like Jeremy at Color Up. You can make some decent money. There are 2 YouTuber friends of mine that they use the income that come off of their channel to support their family. I think that's wonderful. And they also use the money that comes in off of the YouTube and their monetization to support their gambling habits. I think that's great. But for a channel that's charging an exorbitant amount and begging for subscribers and doing things that are, I don't know how to say what I want to say without coming across wrong like I did in the video from 2 years ago. But I just think that you guys are smart enough to know when you see a channel and the purpose for which they're doing what they are doing, you deserve to pay a fair price if you choose to pay. Like D8 says, let's keep YouTube free and support free live craps. I always have loved that saying. I do have memberships. They're going to be going off. So the other thing with YouTube channels is the clickbait. Since I started, there have been 5 really good new YouTube channels, less than a year old, that have succeeded 5,000 subscribers. Hell, I've been doing this for a number of years and I don't even have 5,000 subscribers. Those guys that are there are serious about the work they're doing. They have an excellent production schedule. They've picked a niche that fits what they're doing, and they're doing it well, and their subscriber base has grown. If you've been around since the time that I joined and or maybe a year afterwards, and you're still sitting below that 5,000 threshold, think about what you're doing and think about the reason why you're not getting the subscribers, and stop begging for subscribers. They will come. Build it, they will come. So if you want to grab onto the clickbait thumbnail, hey, have at it. I mean, I'd like to see some of those because they're funny. But when you talk about BS channels and the ones that are serious, you have to consider what you're watching, and that you have to take that in mind. Don't take a strategy that you see on YouTube and go roll it out at the casino. One of the great strategy minds that's not written a book yet, but he has a book. It's called The Book of Waylon, or The Books of Waylon. I coined that phrase, is Waylon over at Waylon's Way Craps. Now, I met Waylon way back when, and I've played with him many times. I look at some of his strategies, and they really do blow my mind, because Waylon has a crap strategy mind that if something's not working, let's try something else. And then he rolls it out on his table with a single shot picture, and he talks through it in a way that makes sense. Now, he wins a lot. And Waylon's a good craps player, and he and his dad have been playing a long, long time. So when you look at Waylon, one of Waylon's strategies, and you go and try it, please practice it before you go. I've used some of his strategies. I don't play strategies anymore. I'm more of a trend person or a system player. But Waylon has got this mind that is just incredible, and I consider him a really good friend. The list of YouTubers that I hope to put in the description. Obviously, we'll include the YouTubers that I've already mentioned because I highly respect them. And then there's going to be a few more that are out there, especially the ones that are doing the everyday shows or twice a day shows like John over at Procraps and CGTV. You've got Big AZ, you got George from CY, you got Craps Master Journey Joe, all those guys that are doing that on a daily basis. God bless you. And I know how hard of a job that you have to bring the content and to do that on a daily basis. I support each and every one of those channels. The thing that I want you to remember when it comes to a YouTube channel, and especially if you meet that YouTuber in person, is watch how he promotes himself, how he pushes himself, how he pushes him or herself, that he is the latest and the greatest, because egos get you nowhere. If there's anything I've learned in this life while I was working, is that egotistical people do not change. So let's go ahead and finish up. Let's talk about classes. Classes, if you want to take a class, it's great. There's some free classes. There's some paid classes. If you decide to take a paid class, go by reputation. Go by word of mouth. Make sure that people are saying this class was good, this class wasn't good. I'm only going to mention a few of the paid classes here that include Power Access Group, Steve Holtum, Heavy's group. Excellent presentation. A lot of knowledge and craps experience there. The people over at Golden Touch, wonderful group of people. They have their way of doing things. Some people don't always agree with these guys, but they do. I was fortunate enough to meet Tony Leo in Vegas a few years ago. The concept of what he does, I like. His product is for pay as well. His wage system that's out there, it goes beyond craps. If you feel like it and your pocket can afford those type of things, have at that. But there have been many other YouTubers who have offered to teach you. Some that have had a lot of experience in the game, some not so much experience, but they think they've mastered the game in a short time period. If somebody calls you up and says, hey, I understand you're looking to go take a class, whether it be either one of those three I just mentioned, hey, why don't you let me teach you? We can either do it in person or I can do it over the phone or internet. I'll teach you whatever you want to know, whether it's betting or dice throwing. And then they add in the adage of, I'll even do it for free because they're trying to get established as an instructor. Watch out for that type of approach, because if you're going to pay and attend with a group of people, those other people are paying too. Make sure you're getting your money's worth. And remember that if they offer to do it for free, it's typically you get what you pay for. But now, there is a few YouTubers out there that I have partnered up with and that I feel very comfortable with that are offering their knowledge of the game, whether it be betting, the actual history of the game, and or dice influence, that are showing you for free for the betterment of the game. Then God bless them, because they've increased my game, made my game better, and I've done a lot better in this game of craps because of them. And I just say, so they're out there. If you want to participate with a class, just make sure the person has a reputation. Offer them for free. Make sure that reputation and the history is there to prove it. And you'll know when you find that out who you're talking to, whether it's reputable or not. The amount of YouTube channels that are out there is encouraging from one standpoint and discouraging from the standpoint that there are many that have issues with themselves and are doing it for the wrong reasons. What I like to see is I like to see the live fantasy crap shows like Arnell over at Dice Grinders does, George from CY, the channels the shows that he puts out, the contest that he puts together a couple times a year. There's supposed to be another one coming this year that George had a suggestion of doing something. I'm looking forward to those types of shows, but just make sure that you're watching for the right reasons. I'm going to finish up here talking about, I have over the past 4 years surveyed. When I say survey, I talk at the table of people who I don't know, don't ask their name, don't ask them where they're from, but I say to them, hey, after I watch them play for a while or after a long roll or something, I say, hey, you play very well. What kind of strategy is that? Now, pay attention to this. 99% of them, and there's thousands that I've talked to, say that they don't play a strategy. they play how they feel they want to play. They play exactly what comes to them and how they want to play. The other 1% has mentioned people that they watch, such as Jeremy at Color Up and Waylon, and the people over on CGTV like John at Procraps, and they've watched those shows, but they play the way they want to play. So it's your money. Play how you want to play, and make sure you stay away from these strange, weird strategies that you see on YouTube that will make you go broke. Final thought here. I watched a friend of mine who's not in our community put out a video last week that said how to win at craps in Vegas. Think about that. How to win at craps. What difference does it make if it's in Vegas, Atlantic City, Joliet, Illinois, Biloxi, the Bahamas, over in Europe? It's the same game, played mostly the same way. It was clickbait, and I said to the person, you know, your content of that video really wasn't about winning in Vegas because you were talking about low buy-ins and winning consistently, but the title did not follow through with the video. So don't waste your time watching a video that is, you know, 25 to 30 minutes long and you still don't get anything out of it. Guys, what I would like to see the group in this community that are watching me now do is that I would like you to consider the difference between entertainment and educational. Know the difference. Have fun on a Crapsee show that's entertaining. You go to a show that they're talking about mathematics, they're talking about odds, they're talking about, I guess that is math, they're talking about ways to play the game, ways to set the dice, where to throw from what position. Those are the channels that are educational. All the rest of them that are out there that have all the clickbait and all the point of taking somebody else's strategies and changing the name or changing the way they do it is just wrong. If they give the original person credit and say, this is with my twist, I like those videos, and that usually catches my attention. I do watch that. Guys, I think I'm going to wrap that up now. The video went a little longer than what I wanted it to go. I wanted it to be less than 20 minutes. We just pushed over the 22-minute mark, so I'm going to go ahead and say, you know my channel direction. I'm going to be doing live shows in the daytime, some at nighttime, and mostly daytime with Crapsee, the Midday Mac Show. I've got some interviews planned, my co-collaborations with a lot of YouTubers that I haven't even mentioned, including the ones that I have been doing with. I'm looking forward to doing those. I want to say God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you around, just not as much. I appreciate the support of the viewers, the subscribers, and especially the members that make me feel warm with the text messages, the phone calls, the mail that I get, the gifts that I've gotten in the mail is just incredible. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. Go out and support the channels that you like to support. Beware of the egotistical channels that are out there using the clickbait and using the term of, you know, come subscribe for me, begging for them. With that said, guys, have a great time. Enjoy the game, enjoy the camaraderie in our community. There is another community that is out there that doesn't want to be part of us, mostly because of some of the people that are in our community, but I've become friends with many on the other side, if I could say that, of YouTubers. I hope to see you at the tables. As always, God bless, good luck, be safe, and play smart, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.